Please give a warm welcome to Deputy Governor, State Bank of Pakistan, Ms. Sima Kamil.
Dr. Ishrat Hussain, Chairman IBACIF, Professor Akbar Zaidi, Chairman SECP Amir Khan Saab, all our distinguished panelists here, particularly those who have joined us from overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I'm really pleased to be here to address today's audience on the third IBACIF World Islamic Forum. I especially commend Dr. Ishrat and the team that has put this organization together today. It's been a real effort, I know, and we worked with them, but I know that they've put in a whole lot of work, which has been beyond the call of duty. And I think when you heard from Dr. Ishrat, you would have understood the motivation behind it. And today I will talk about what I see as linkages between prosperity and the Islamic system of finance. And I'll start with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. These were adopted in 2017 by all member countries and had these very high aims of life-changing zeros, zero poverty, and zero hunger, and all this by the year 2030. As we sit today and look at the world around us, it's a little bit of an impossible dream, I think. It's only 8 years to go. Are we really going to achieve that? I'm not sure. Certainly not in the way that we are moving. We talk a lot about it. We say the right things, and to be fair, some work has been done. But we are far off. And this is where I believe Islamic finance comes in. Because you have to have a moral and perhaps faith-based desire to achieve those things. Because if you don't, then the human element of greed takes over. And all of us suffer from that, unfortunately. So I think what we are doing today, and particularly the topic of today, which is the financial Islamic ecosystem and global prosperity, is very important. And we talk about this, and we know that the Maqasid al-Sharia, articulated by Imam al-Ghazali in the 12th century, underscores the protection of religion, life, family, intellect, and property, with the aim of preventing harm and attaining benefits. And as Dr. Ishrat says, capitalism and socialism have not been able to achieve that. So we need to think outside this. And this is why we're all here today. The global financial services have evolved into a dynamic and vibrant industry. Spread across 70 countries, it has expanded rapidly in the last few decades and is now a strategically essential financial segment in many economies. As per the IFSB's Islamic Financial Stability Report 2021, the total worth of global Islamic financial assets has increased to $2.7 trillion, with Islamic banking as the largest sector, contributing over 68% of the industry's assets. The question I want to put before you is this large enough? And I think you will all agree that there is a very long way to go. And again, that's my challenge to myself, my team, and to all of you. In Pakistan, the Islamic banking industry has acquired a market share of over 19% and 20% in assets and deposits, respectively, as of March end 2022. During the last 5 years, the compound annual growth rate of Islamic banking assets and deposits was 25% and 22%, while in absolute terms, assets and deposits stood at 5.9 trillion rupees and 4.2 trillion rupees at the end of March this year. During calendar year 21, assets and deposits of Islamic banking witnessed a truly remarkable year-on-year increase of 31% and 21%, which is the highest ever increase in a year. So we all ought to be quite proud of ourselves, but there is a long way to go. The growth rate of the Islamic financing portfolio also remained remarkable during the last few years and has increased from 1.2 trillion in 2017 to 2.7 trillion in 2022. The regular issuance of domestic sovereign sukuks amounted to 1.9 trillion during the last 3 years and provided much needed support in the growth of its Islamic banking industry. I will add here that a lot more needs to be done. And we need, as a group, to be more innovative and move away perhaps from the standard structures. And we need the Sharia scholars, academics, all present here today to assist us in this. I move now to what the Islamic banking industry has done, really to show, and I think this is a slide I would like you to really focus on for a bit. So if you look at this, you will see, for example, the very first thing, which is low-cost housing. Now this is something that has really added to the lives of the ordinary person and allowed them to get home loans and home finance. And if you look at it, you will see that close to half of it has been done by Islamic instruments and Islamic finance. And why is that? That is because the people of this country, 98% of whom are Muslim, prefer this. And you can see this there. So this establishes a clear link on how we can use Islamic finance to improve the lives of everyone around us, not just in Pakistan, and we can think of this on a global scale as well. Then you look at our Sharia compliant certificates for the Roshan digital accounts. Again, that is close to half in the Islamic instruments. This assists the prosperity of our Pakistanis living overseas. Again, it shows the link between prosperity and Islamic finance. The third one you see is our very important steps that we took in conjunction with the banks during the pandemic. And this is the scheme known affectionately as TERF, the Temporary Economic Refinance Facility. And this, by the way, was not just large corporates. It was large and medium-sized firms who were able to access finance so that the issues created by the pandemic could be overcome and that investment and confidence could continue. And again, 38%, more than the proportion of Islamic banking was in TERF, was Islamic. And lastly, which was 41%, is the facility we had to assist hospitals during the pandemic to be able to have facilities and infrastructure, and again, that was 41% Islamic. So the point I'm trying to make with this very important slide is the clear link between the SDGs, assisting those around us, and Islamic finance. So this is something that we should be happy about, but also something that would spur us on to be more innovative in what we are doing so that it is for the benefit of all around us and creates prosperity and benefit and helps those who are underserved. I would like to share with you now some of the key steps taken by the State Bank to promote Islamic banking and to unlock the next phase of the growth of Islamic banking. Our third strategic plan, which extends to 2025, is focused on 6 strategic pillars. The first, strengthening the legal landscape. Second, enhancing the conduciveness of the regulatory framework. The third, reinforcing Sharia governance frameworks to make them more resilient and supportive. The fourth, improving liquidity management frameworks. The fifth, expanding outreach and market development. And last but not least, human capital and awareness raising, which is a major challenge for all of us. I would also like to share with you a few of the key steps taken by the State Bank to promote Islamic banking in the country. There are many of them, and I won't have the time to go through all of them, but I would like to talk about 5, which is the first, which I also mentioned earlier, an enabling regulatory and Sharia governance framework. The second, regular issuance of strategic plans to guide the industry. The establishment of centers of excellence, like IBA, like LUMS, like IM Sciences, to give us academic research and ideas. What we have done also is a Sharia-compliant standing ceiling facility and open market operations, which were a major need of the Islamic financial institutions. And then, of course, the Sharia-compliant lender of last resort facility, which is essential for any healthy and safe banking environment. Of course, as mentioned before, State Bank has been voted as the best central bank by Red Money Group Malaysia. And at that time, I do want to recognize Syed Samar Hasnan, who has really led this, as well as GM Abbasi from the State Bank. And I'd like you to please stand. Please stand. Samar sir. Because they are the people. I mean, I'm standing here and addressing all of you. But really, the dedication, and Dr. Ishrat knows this, it's always teamwork. And the work and the passion that they put in, and we also have Nigat there. I forgot Nigat, because we were talking about women. So I think we need to recognize these people, as well as people like Dr. Irfan Siddiqui Saab and Amir Saab and Yusuf Saab from Faisal Bank for all the support that they've given us. And we expect to see more growth. But when we talk of things, we do have to focus a little bit on the challenges as well. So I have to talk about that. And we know that there is a lot that has happened, but we obviously cannot say that we've done enough. A significant proportion of demand from those is still not met, and those are the financially excluded. And there are some major challenges, like awareness, capacity building, the lack of a regular supply of sukuks, low penetration in strategic sectors, and that I think I would put as a challenge, SMEs, agriculture, R&D for innovative products and services. And the last thing I need to talk about, which I think is a challenge for all of us, is technology. What are we doing to use Islamic modes, to use digital channels to reach out to people? They are now young people. They will not go to a branch. We have done on our part the Yasan digital account, digital onboarding, Rast, and also we have floated a framework for digital banks. We need all those here to think of ways and means where this can become the way that we reach out to people. And I'll be a little blunt. I will say that we are a little behind here and must grow faster in this area. Because until we embrace technology, along with Islamic modes of finance, the prosperity that we want, and we want to touch what is perhaps incorrectly called the bottom of the pyramid. We need to touch the lives of those who want Islamic modes, but do not have the wherewithal. We need to assist women who are at home, and why should they not be at home if they choose to do so? We need to touch their lives with Islamic products so that there is empowerment of men and women in the way that they would want it, in a faith-based way. I'd like to conclude again by congratulating Dr. Ishrat and the team who worked so hard. And I'd also like to tell you that if you see me You will forgive me if you see me leaving rather quickly, but we have a State Bank board meeting also today. I will stay as long as I can, but I hope that you will understand and not consider me very rude for walking off. So thank you for listening to me, and I wish you the very best. And I will say one thing. I hope at the end of this, we have some tangible results and something tangible that comes out. And don't go back thinking, okay, it was a very good conference and we exchanged some good ideas. We need actual products. We need actual results. Thank you for listening to me.